Welcome everybody to your QBL Game of the Week featuring the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Toowoomba Mountaineers. I'm John Guarna. I'm joined tonight by Dave Derwin and Dan George for this local rivalry between the Southwest Metro Pirates and the Toowoomba Mountaineers. They met a couple weeks ago. Southwest really had a tough game on their hands. They were able to come away with a 10-point win. What are your expectations tonight, fellas, for this matchup?
Well, I think it'll be an interesting one. The Pirates were, what's the kindest word, Johnny? Really, really bad last week. Obviously missing a couple of guys, but that's no excuse. Other guys have got to step up. So they were really bad. Onwis is back. I think Vines is back a little bit off his ankle, and then Williams did his ankle, so he's out now for a week or two. I think they're obviously looking for some redemption. But Toowoomba's coming off a big win up in Gladstone last night. Bozeman dropping 49. So I'm excited to see how he rolls tonight.
Yeah, I think Bozeman is definitely a difference maker for this Toowoomba Mountaineers team. Haven't seen him play just yet. Dan, you have any expectations for the Mountaineers? I know you had a couple of chats with a friend of yours, Josh Dirksen. He's pretty confident coming into tonight.
He is confident, and Josh is an interesting guy from the point of view that I played with him at the Spartans going on 5 years ago. Right when he was leaving the AIS and heading over to college, and he's obviously done his 4 years and come back and had an okay year with Ipswich. Maybe not great from what he's capable of, but he's feeling good. He said he's healthy again, had some injuries last year, so he's feeling very optimistic about Toowoomba's chances tonight. So from Toowoomba's point of view, they're expecting a great game, but if I'm just looking as a third person observing, Southwest should win this comfortably if they're for real, which is yet to be determined.
Yeah, both teams coming into tonight. Toowoomba's got a 1-3 record. They had picked up their first win last weekend, and Southwest sitting at 3-2. Those really where you saw these teams coming into the season?
Well, on talent, I think on talent it should be, the Pirates are a top 5 team on talent, and if they can play hard and clean up some of the defensive issues they've had, then they're around the mix. Toowoomba, I don't think have the talent to be in that top 5. So they're going to have to battle every week. Concerning things, obviously, early season from the Pirates is, they're second in the league in turnovers on the wrong side. So, it's almost 17 turnovers a game. They've got to clean that up. They've got a bit of youth too, so that's going to happen. And a couple of new pieces. So, but the three's been brutal from them. 17% this season from the three. So you're going to see Toowoomba pack the paint all night long and see if Southwest can adjust.
Well, my eyes are on Tyrell Harrison, number 1, and maybe even Lachie Venus, number 2. Like, Tyrell's obviously a Bullets player. Lachlan Venus is in the development squad now. And when you're a young guy in the development squad, you almost act like you think you're in the NBL, but you're not. But here's your chance to come out and prove that maybe you have the potential to get there. And if I'm looking at this Toowoomba team, they've got some athletes. They've got some big bodies, so how are these young Southwest bigs going to step up and compete? And more to the point, I think Princeton Onwis is a massive inclusion coming back, and he'll be a big difference and probably the reason why Southwest are favourites tonight.
Yeah, Harrison was terrific last week. Thunder, I know we've had been a little critical at moments on some of his development and options and so forth, but his maturity was terrific last week. I think he had 15 and 12, and he really made a big impact.
Oh, it's going to be a good matchup for Harrison. It'll be interesting to see who he matches up with defensively if he picks up Dirksen. Dirksen is a multi-talented player. He could take you inside, he could take you outside. You see the two of them get set to jump. I'm looking forward to seeing what these defensive matchups are going to be for Southwest, because there are some intriguing potential matchups here. As off the opening tip, Onwis lays it up and in.
That's a set play off the tip. You could see Princeton sprint as soon as the ball went up. Bairstow knew exactly where he was going to be. So the first win from a clipboard to Mick Downer on that one.
Yeah, Machendo's got the start tonight. Obviously, Vinesy's just coming back in. But he was good last week too, Johnny, I thought. He gave them good minutes, good penetration, feet in the paint.
And Ridgway a little wild on that layup attempt there. The hook shot a bit too strong. There's the pass inside, stolen by Dirksen. Good active hands. Here comes Bozeman. Lefty layup is off. It's tipped around. Onwis comes down with it. Damon Bozeman, the captain. 49 in the game. And he didn't do it at a bad clip either. I think he shot nearly 55, almost 60%.
I think he hit 9 of 16 from 3. So clearly he's capable.
Bairstow with the jumper. He's on the board. Pirates jump out to a quick 4-0 lead. Here's Bozeman. Dirksen wanted in the block. Bozeman going to bring it out. Skips it over to Dirksen. He'll fire the wing three. That's short.
Oh.
Bozeman slipped a little bit. Not another knee injury.
I was going to say, for anyone who didn't see the women's, we had Toowoomba's best player get an injury on that end of the floor, so that was I had a momentary flashback then, Johnny. I apologise.
Yeah,
hopefully everyone stays healthy.
Bozeman going to fire from three. That's good.
That'll
First
make
three.
Me feel better. You see that go down. Just a bit sore on defense. Should be right for offense, though.
Did you get an update? I saw you talking to Coach Parsons. Did you get an update on Washington?
And I actually tried to help Washington onto her feet, and she just couldn't put any weight on her leg at all, and just upset because I think she knows it's not great news. But she's with the ambulance service at the moment, just off to get scanned. So I guess we'll know in the next few days what's going to happen with her. Yeah.
So we can't confirm the injury, but obviously not a very good one.
She's in good hands, and she'll be fine.
Pretty fast-paced start to this game. 6-3. Pirates hitting 3 of their first few opportunities.
Yeah, it'll be interesting too. I think looking at some of the stats from Basketball Queensland, again, pace-wise, the Pirates are one of the slower teams. So I would imagine Toowoomba would be nice and upbeat. I mean, they put 120 on the board last week.
They played the bullet style, right? And,
yeah.
And the bullet style was low possession, put you to sleep type basketball too. But hopefully the Pirates play a little bit higher tempo, a bit more entertaining to watch.
A good finish there by Allen. Here comes Ebner. Good look inside. Malik can't finish, but he's fouled. Manilock Malik. He's been a pretty good QBL player for a few years now with the Mountaineers.
Yeah, well, sorry.
No, go ahead. I was just going to talk random trash.
Oh no, I was just going to say they missed Paul Allaire a little bit too. He's obviously moved to the Rip, and they were really good early on in the season, and obviously something went down with that, and Paul sort of fell off the radar a little bit mid-season. But when they had them early, they were a really reasonable team.
Yeah, Malik is quite long. He's a 4'5". Probably he's mixing it up a little bit with Dirksen here under head coach Danny Marceau.
Well, they got some good length. Toowoomba, I think it's just the challenge is when they go to the bench is traditionally what's hurt them. They sort of get five good guys competitively.
Yeah, Malik missed both of them. There's Bairstow going right at the defense. Harrison picks up his dribble out to Onwis. Good dribble drive. Onwis kicks it out to Bairstow for 3. It rolls home. It's a good look by Onwis.
It's great penetration. Got 2 feet in the paint, kicked it out. That's good basketball. He's a good player, Princeton Onwis.
Bozeman, another 3 is too strong. Good defense from Machendo. They really like his defense. He's an aggressive defender. You've got to like that if you're the Pirates.
Yeah, another sloppy turnover early.
Good pass there. Ebner wide open for 3. That's too strong.
Oh.
Nice follow, though, by Ridgway. Didn't really slam it home. He kind of just grabbed it and laid it in, didn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly above the rim on it.
Harrison draws the contact, loses it, though, and Ebner comes up with it.
And these are the sort of possessions that kill you, with the back-to-back turnovers and then back-to-back Ridgway buckets, where they've got to clean that up. And it wasn't tremendous defense from Toowoomba. It was just sloppy passes.
And Toowoomba doing a good job capitalizing on those turnovers. They cut the deficit to 4, 11-7, Pirates lead. Harrison goes to the right hand, loses it on the way up. Good defense from Dirksen. Harrison gets it back, misses the dunk though. And then Allen fouls Malik.
Yeah, good move from Harrison though. Again, I like the patience, and I sure like him trying to smack it on his head. Just unfortunately didn't get it in.
A little too strong there from Harrison. Allen picks up his first. It's 2 team fouls. Stoddart checks in for the Pirates. Jake Allen takes a breather. Malik has it. Hook shot is short. Tipped in, though, by Ridgway. He's doing work on the O glass.
Yeah, and this is another interesting possession. So from a coaching point of view, you know, Coach Downer's going to want to build, Toowoomba's going to try and build some pressure. There's 4 consecutive stops now.
Bozeman, nice skip pass ahead to Malik. Blocked by Stoddard, but they're going to get him for the foul.
And then potentially the other end is 4 consecutive buckets for Toowoomba.
And you're seeing why the Toowoomba guys are feeling optimistic, but the test is going to be how sustainable is this play? Because I think, like we said pre-game, they've got good length, good import play. And Dirkson's the 5, but he's really a 3. So he's guarding a 5, but that creates mismatch problems down the other end. But when they go to the bench, can they keep this pace up? But you're seeing why they're pretty optimistic and maybe overachieving to what people thought they would in the preseason.
And equally, Dan, it'll be interesting to see how they use Dirkson now. Obviously, Harrison's out, and he'll sort of play 18, 20 minutes a game. And now Dirkson will guard someone else.
Why does he play 18, 20 minutes a game, by the way?
Well, I think they kind of just...
Why isn't he playing 30 minutes a game, putting up 15 and 12?
Yeah.
That's what he should be doing.
Well, he did last week. He was really good.
But he should. But who was that against? Gold Coast?
Yeah. Oh, no, Phoenix. No.
Rip.
The Rip. I mean, that should be a normal night for him. 15, 12, 30 minutes, couple of blocks.
Yeah.
If he's not doing it every week, there's something wrong.
Good rebound by Machando. Swatted by Malik. Thompson gets it. Now Machando has it with 6 on the shot clock. Out to Stoddard, working on Ebneter. Dumps it in for Bairstow, who can't finish, but he's fouled by Ridgway.
Yeah, not a lot in that.
Soft foul.
Yeah.
I'm going to say soft foul.
Good penetration. Malik cleaning the glass.
That was a swat.
That was nice.
That was real nice. Manilock Malik has given us a few of those over the years since we started covering the QBL.
Yeah. If it wasn't so cold up in Toowoomba, we may cover him some more. Yeah.
Bairstow misses the first one.
Or maybe it's a 2-hour drive too, maybe a little bit.
Second one for Bairstow is good. 12-11 the score, 4:30 to go in the first quarter. Southwest up that 1 point. Ebner doing a good job keeping his dribble alive. Likes a couple of these matchups. Vine's in, working on a sore ankle, that's for sure. Dirksen backing in against Thompson, fades away, it's short.
Well, I don't know why he's fading. I mean, he needs to be looking for those mismatches and going to work.
Troy Thompson in for the Pirates, gets it over to the captain, Ryan Vines. Now Bairstow back to Vines. Thompson on the block now. Working against Bozeman. Contact inside.
It's just another really soft foul. I mean, Bozeman is a big, strong dude down there. I mean, Troy's dribbling towards the three-point line. Hopefully no one gets in foul trouble, because the last thing we want is to see these Toowoomba studs pick up 2 or 3 first-half fouls here on soft calls like that.
It was a foul-a-thon last weekend. I think three Rip guys fouled out.
Good read there by Bozeman. Picks up the steal. He puts the Jets on, goes through the contact and finishes strong. He's been impressive early, fellas.
Yeah.
Onwis gets it now. Oh, it's stripped by Bozeman. Good hands there. Using the body to shield. He's blocked but fouled by Onwis. Good recognition there by Bozeman to get the deflection, and then a better job on the offensive end, using his body to shield the defender.
Yeah, I love the active hands.
That's one thing I know, Dave, when you coach, you're always talking about making sure you have active hands. It's not about stealing it from the player individually. It's about getting your hands in lanes and tipping the ball.
Yeah, I tell you what I observed when the Com Games was on, watching the Opals play. You know, they were terrific at that. Like their hand activity was so noticeable, and I know they dominated anyway, but just it was quite interesting culturally how every closeout was a high hand and good ball pressure. Whereas sometimes the men kind of are a bit too cool, if that makes sense.
Toowoomba is now up 3, 15-12. Southwest, as they have for much of the season, struggling to get a bucket. Onwas going right at Malik. Powers through.
And that's a great move, but it's just the style of play that the Bullets and now Southwest run. Toowoomba's got 5 feet in the paint, like on D, and they're just going to say, if you're going to shoot a 3, we'll live with it, but it just means that Southwest have to work so hard for every bucket, whereas Toowoomba coming down, playing much more free, getting good looks, and it's just fun to watch.
Onwas on the wing. Now Thompson has it. He'll fire at top of the key 3. That's short. He liked the look of that, Troy.
It did look good. What I would have liked to have seen too is
Ridgway finishes plus the foul. He's been really active and effective early for Toowoomba as well.
Yeah, I mean, in my eyes there, last possession down, Harrison had a soft rim run, or didn't, is my point, and all he had to do was go and post up Ebniter.
How old is he now?
Harrison?
Yeah.
I think he's like
I think he's
20,
20,
maybe?
yep.
Yeah. So
that is very
18.
Yeah, he's
still
young.
18?
Yeah. He's only been playing like...
We don't fact check here at Live Sport Australia, but I'm going to fact check this one.
It says it on his profile on the QBL website.
Oh, there you go.
Wait. There's a lot of things on the QBL website that we need to fact check.
Timeout taken on the floor, though. We'll take one as well. 2:27 to go in the first quarter. Toowoomba up 3 on Southwest, 17-14. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's a 3-point lead for the Toowoomba Mountaineers, 17-14 with 2:27 to go in the first quarter. Southwest and Toowoomba going at it. Pretty good action so far from both teams. Been impressed with Ridgway's activity inside for Toowoomba and Bozeman on both ends of the court for Toowoomba.
Yeah, they've been really good. And again, Malik is a good defensive presence. Chips in with some offensive rebounding, etc.
So Ridgway's at the free throw line.
The other thing too, you know, I think a lot of the other teams have got to appreciate is with the Toowoomba group, they kind of go get a couple of imports every year, and you've got to work them into the Australian system. So obviously a couple of American imports, got to get used to the physicality of the competition, understand their teammates.
Got to shoot that tie. Left hook, baby.
Yeah, Harrison with another turnover on that play. He can get his shot off over anyone. He just needs to have that confidence to go to it.
Sure does. I guess my question about his age was, like full-time basketball, I'd love to see him come out and just try and take over. It's easy sometimes as younger players to say, well, I'm a young player, I'll just keep developing. Oh, look, no, let's come. I remember Bogut at the AIS was putting up 20 and 20 in Siebel game. That's what Ty should be doing right here.
And there's Malik with the junk layup there. It just fell in his hands, went up, got fouled. So another opportunity for a three-point play here from Malik. And Toowoomba, guys, all the momentum at the moment. They're a lot more energetic than Southwest. This is a troubling sign here early. Southwest, after that big loss last week, you'd think they want to come out firing on all cylinders.
I think the BQ website is perfectly up to date, by the way, fellas. All information spot on, 100% accurate. I've done a quick fact check in the timeout.
How old was he, Thunder?
He's 21.
Ty Harrison, definitely 18 years old.
18.
As Malik hits the three-point play.
Good checking, Thunder. We don't do any dodgy stats here.
And he loses it out of bounds. Little low there for the big fella.
Well, that is their 6th turnover of the first quarter.
That's just unacceptable for any team, really, to have 6 turnovers in a quarter, Dave.
Well, not when they're, as I said, they're second in the league in turnovers currently.
Malik now, top of the key, goes inside for Dirksen. Good hands there by Jake Allen. Captain Ryan Vines has it for the Pirates. Harrison, Euro steps to the bucket.
Good aggression. We'll live with that if you're Southwest.
Yeah, good move.
Meanwhile, Toowoomba are feeling good about themselves down the other end.
Bozeman just is really crafty. He's quite deceptively quick because he's so thick as a guard, but he moves really fast. Good up and under from Ridgway. And it falls.
For all those young live sport.
Ridgway, oh, we need multiple cameras. He had the spoon out feeding himself just then on the way back down to defense.
He's eating up the Pirates inside for sure. Onwist wing three is up. It's short. Tipped around. Harrison loses it, but over to Vines. Good fake from Vines. Gets it to fall. Bozeman blocked, but he was fouled.
I was going to say, Johnny, for all those live sport listeners, the young fellas, Bozeman does a terrific job of staying low. You know, I know he's not a big guy, but he's always so low and aggressive, and it just allows him to power through some of those moves and his crossovers. Real slick.
And he's quick too. I mean, he's got up and down the court pretty smoothly and pretty quickly. That's for sure. Just it seems like every week when we come to call a game, it's just another talented guard. You look at every team, everyone's got 2-3 solid guards. And Toowoomba's no different.
Yeah.
Last weekend we saw it was Izzy Tueta dominating the Pirates. Bozeman having himself a quarter here. He's got, where is he at? He's got 8 points already. Make it 9. So he's doing work here for Toowoomba, and they're up 8, 24-16. Under 30 seconds to go in the quarter.
Nice extra pass.
Somehow Bozeman comes down with it. Toowoomba can hold for the final shot of the quarter.
Wow, just silly. I love the intent.
He was absolutely trying to do the right thing.
Yeah. But he's going to send him to the bonus, I think.
Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. When you're in the bonus, you've just got to be a bit more aware.
Little offense defense here from Coach Downer. Vines coming in for Machando, with Bozeman at the line, taking 2 shots. First one is off for Bozeman. Each and every week we present to you your QBL Game of the Week by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia, showcasing Australian sport online. Make sure you visit the Live Sport Australia Facebook page and give us a follow and a like for all your latest QBL and Australian sports news and video. Ebner gets called for the block. That's the 4th team foul on Toowoomba. 5.8 seconds to go in the quarter. Southwest down 8.
That'll send out the local Runcorn Rocket Juniors to do a bit of cleaning up.
Is that your club, DD?
No, just
Runcorn Rockets?
No, one of the.
Just give them a plug.
Yeah, give them a plug.
I like those jerseys. Those are practice jerseys? Oh, those are the real deal.
I think they're just training jerseys.
Runcorn Rockets with the training jerseys.
Yeah.
I like it. 4 to go in the quarter. Onwist has it. Goes
Good
inside
pass
for Venus. It's stripped by Bozeman. And Bozeman with those active hands again denies Southwest at the end of the quarter.
I think that's a great look from Onwist, but I also think he's probably got to try and say, we're down 8, let me go get you a bucket. So good look to the young fella rolling, but I'd love to see him come off a bit more aggressive and get his own look out of that.
That's the end of the quarter. It's an 8-point lead for Toowoomba, 24-16 over Southwest. And your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's a 24-16 lead for Toowoomba over the Pirates at the break. It was a pretty impressive first quarter for the Mountaineers, led by Bozeman. Bozeman had 9 points, and Ridgeway actually leads them in scoring at 10 points, 5 of 6 from the field. Pretty efficient first quarter also from Toowoomba.
Yeah, pretty similar statistics as well, Johnny. Same amount of shots, basically same amount of made buckets as well. Pirates +5 on the rebounding. A couple of interesting stats for me. Toowoomba's getting to the foul line, 12 free throw attempts, and that's really the difference, is the extra points. Pirates got to clean up the turnovers. Finished with 8 turnovers.
Ridgeway got called for the hook on Terrell Harrison. He put down a huge jam. I know you want that one, Thunder. Don't
Count
like
the
call?
bucket.
Well, I think the thing
might
is,
get mad and give you even something better.
He did hook a little bit, but man's game down there.
he tried to get quite low on Harrison, which is easy because he's a 7-footer. Here's Onwes dumping it off for Harrison.
There's another one almost has to go upstairs and shoot himself.
Good
Just go
block
up there and
again
punch
by
it.
Malik, but Venus puts it in.
Or the lob. But, I mean, he came off, he turned the corner. That he should have been,
Well, he should have
Harrison
lobbed it
rolling.
early.
Yeah, rolling.
It's an early lob, or
Yeah.
if he goes that deep, he'll finish himself.
Ridgeway looking to go one-on-one with Harrison. Goes right at the big man. Too strong.
You can tell Toowoomba really liked that matchup, though. Trying to go right at Ty quick.
I like a little chin wagon between Ridgeway now.
A lot of chatter
like
last
it.
week as well with Josh Tueta and Terrell Harrison. I think they got double text last week, so.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I want to see Harrison go straight back at him.
I think Tyrell should just go and live with Princeton and spend as much time in the weight room as Princeton does.
Good hit there by Lockie Venus on the baseline. Cuts the deficit to 4. Nice hesitation. Bozeman takes the contact and finishes.
He is smooth, fellas.
He's great. He's been really impressive so far. Coach Morso asking for the call. Referee's telling him to just settle down a bit. On with hands off for Harrison. Now Venus again on the block. His pass is tipped out of bounds by Bozeman.
I love that Bozeman's playing both ends. He's doing a good job getting the deflections. Toowoomba's been really good in the first half here defensively.
We see each and every week the Pirates opposition as Harrison goes to the left hand and banks it home. But Pirates, the opposition is just going to pack in the paint and dare you to shoot, beat them with the jump shot.
Yeah.
Well, that's the style of offense the Bullets ran, and now that Mick obviously knows well, so he's brought to the Pirates. I mean, that's how it's going to be guarded, and they're going to continue to struggle to get easy looks.
Vines got called for the foul there. That's his second personal. It's the first team foul on Southwest.
Darryl White Jr.'s in the house. Quick shout out.
I thought we might see Darryl with the Brisbane Spartans, but I don't think we will get to see him in the QBL this season, unfortunately, as Bozeman fires a 3 and misses. Tipped out, though, back to Bozeman. I don't think we're going to get to see Darryl White Jr. suit up for the Spartans this season. He's only back in Australia for a month, and then he's heading back to his university to get summer workouts in. Jake Allen over to Vines. Good pass inside. Venus can't finish the reverse layup, though. It's a good look from Vines to Venus.
Good offense. There's good signs for the Pirates. I mean, ran a good set, got a great shot. Just got to finish that off.
Jake Allen with the active hands, tipping the ball out of bounds. He's now got the assignment of Bozeman. Coach Morsu going to the bench and checking in for the first time was Kwaya Kwan. And Sid Hume checking in as well. Tito Kwaya Kwam. Hopefully I got that one right. Kwaya Kwam had a big one in that first round game versus Cairns, but he's been quiet since. There's Ridgeway. His shot is short.
Well, he probably can't sort of bully Princeton like he did on Harrison, so that'll just be an adjustment for Ridgeway as to how he's going to try and attack.
And look, Toowoomba know their players, obviously, but just from what we've seen so far, I'm not sure that Ridgeway is a dump it to the post and let him back down player. I think he's going to get his points off pick and rolls, you know, stepping into the lane when Bozeman drives, dish, finish, offensive rebound. I'm not sure that that's the offense they're going to want to stick with.
Ridgeway asked for a breather. Coach Downer going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well with the Pirates down 4, 26-22 to the Toowoomba Mountaineers in your QBL Game of the Week, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here on the QBL Game of the Week. Shout out to the Glory League at Auchenflower on a Wednesday night. D-Love dropping 3 bombs. Toowoomba, though, doing work here.
A 3 bomb.
All right.
You know what? That was smooth, though. I've got to give it to you.
Jake Allen, left-handed hook shot.
It would never have happened against the Mustangs. Let's just get that out there.
The kids love the video, mate.
Oh, I make my kids watch my video every night before they go to bed. Highlight tape from 13 years ago. Check it out, kids, on YouTube. No dessert till you watch it.
Bozeman nearly lost it. He went out of bounds, though, off the hands of Toowoomba. Inbounds to Quiequam. His three-pointer is off. Onwis comes down with it. It's a 3-on-2. Alley-oop for Harrison. Wasn't expecting it, then lays it in with the left hand. Now a 2-point lead for Toowoomba.
Well, this is an opportunity for Pirates to put a big run on here. Toowoomba's gone to the bench. I'd be looking to go for a press or trap.
Especially inside, like Sid Hume right here, and that's a good call. But I mean, Sid Hume, a couple of other fellas that have come in, they're there to be exploited defensively, but offensively they probably know their role, and Bozeman and Dirksen are going to get a lot of shots here.
Yeah.
There's Hume going at Tyrell Harrison. Gets it out to Quiequam. Good defense here from the Pirates. Onwis with the big steal. Gets up, lays it in with the right hand. And we're tied at 26.
No layups for you, Princeton.
Hume nearly loses it, regathers with 7 on the shot clock.
Why is Hume running the offense for Toowoomba at the moment?
Dirksen's 3 is off.
Why are they dumping into the post and letting him make this? Give Bozeman the ball, fellas. Instead of him picking, let him work.
He's definitely breathing heavy, is Bozeman.
Well, he's better off getting a couple of minutes on the bench than sitting watching and not being the main focus on offense.
Coach Morrisseau just got a bench warning from the referees. He's been chattering to them all night. It's tied up at 26, and Dave, like you said, the Toowoomba bench, this is when Southwest has made this run to tie back up against the bench players.
That'll work, Bear.
Oh, he's traveling all over the place. Took about 6 steps, but he'll get 2 shots, so that's cool. I think just to that point as well, this is where I think Josh Dirksen needs to be more assertive too. Sometimes when you know you're the second or third option on a team and Bozeman's clearly number one, then it's easy to deflect, but you've got to recognise when different players are out, when your team needs buckets, and I just think, well, I think it would be great, I should say, to see Josh step up and try and create something and be a bit more aggressive here.
Well, he's a really talented player.
Well,
very talented.
Our 4 is not the kind of production or involvement that you...
No, and just athletic. And those 4 shots, 2 or 3 of them have been little fadeaways late in the shot clock. So, you know, get on the rim, finish strong, get a couple of free throws, get yourself going.
Especially here, you got Bairstow's got 2, and Dirksen's got a good post game.
If they're posting Sid Hume again, I'm going to get up and... No, I'm going to stay, fellas. But I would rather see Bozeman making the calls here.
Well, here he is with the ball in his hand with 4 seconds to go on the shot clock. A lot of contact, and I'm not sure who they're going to give this one to.
That's offensive, but...
Calling the offensive foul on Bozeman. Bairstow stepped up to take the charge.
This is where they just need a bit more disciplined, structured hoops. Like, what offense are we running? Just a late shot clock breakdown. Please save us is not the offense that's going to get a win tonight.
Yeah.
Weber checks in for Toowoomba.
Nor do I know that post-up opportunities for Hume is
Ipswich Grammar checking into the game.
the priority.
Marty Leahy checking in. Did you put this request in, Dave? I know this is you're a big naughty by nature guy.
He's the Pirates DJ. He does a good job. He keeps it real.
If he plays naughty, he's good in your books, huh?
Well, Thunder was bopping along to little Michael Jackson before the game too.
Onwis likes the matchup. He's met at the rim by Hume, but he's fouled.
I like the aggression. That's probably the 3rd or 4th time he's got into the paint down the middle. First time he's tried to finish, he's dishing well to teammates when he maybe should have shot it, but you can't keep giving up the middle penetration and expect to win a ball game.
Ridgway checks back in, as does Malik. Dirksen wasn't happy about getting subbed out there.
I think he was unhappy about the foul call, I think. How many fouls has Josh got now? It would be 2. I think he was unhappy about the call.
Yeah, just one Thunder.
Just one.
But again, the Pirates, that's only their 6th free throw of the first half. And we talked about that at quarter time, where that was a big difference for the Mountaineers early on.
Leahy getting set to check. Backdoor to Onwis. Reverse layup is good from Princeton Onwis. They need to get him more looks like that, though, going to the rim. 29-26 the lead for Toowoomba. 4:15 to go in the first half. Ridgway got himself in a bit of trouble. Vines has it now for Southwest. Goes right to the basket and lays it in with the reverse. That's a good sign for Southwest because Vines has struggled a bit so far early this season.
Oh.
Yeah.
Malik misses. Ridgway follows, though, to tip it home.
Every time I see someone fall over, I'm nervous, Johnny. After the women's game, I thought Princeton was injured, but luckily he's not. Just got crossed over, I think.
Eight on the shot clock. Vines has it now. He'll step into a long 2. That's good from the captain. And Coach Morsu is going to take a timeout with 3:32 to go in the quarter. And the Pirates up 33-28. We'll take a break as well. You're watching QBL Basketball presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports
My
Complex.
man.
Good time out there from Coach Morsu as Southwest started to take a bit of the momentum behind a couple baskets there from the captain, Ryan Vines.
That's great signs from Ryan Vines. And you mentioned, D, that he's struggled a little bit this year, and even last year might have been a little bit under what he's done in the past. So the more aggressive he is, the better off Southwest are going to be.
Bozeman steps into a 2 that's off.
Yeah, pretty well defended.
And Machando doing a pretty good job so far on Bozeman. Thompson thought about it. There's 9 on the shot clock. The captain has it. Back to Bairstow. Good hesitation from Jared. Led blocked though by Malik. Then Bozeman tripped up. His pass goes out of bounds though. His feet I don't think it was anything intentional. His feet just tripped over either his teammates or Southwest. Coach Downer wanted the travel. What's the ruling on that, Regan? When you slide across the floor, how is it a travel or not?
The rule actually got changed around about 2 years ago now. Originally, if you hit the deck and held on the ball and slid, it was a travel. About 2 years ago, it came in that if you cannot control your body when it hits the deck, any movement following that's out of control from you is not a travel. So if you hit the deck, you could slide 10 meters if it was physically possible, and it's not a travel. The minute the natural momentum stops you and you move, then it's a travel.
This could bring in some tactical sliding, fellas.
I
I
like
wonder
it.
if we'll see that.
Full
Just
court
dive on the
slide.
ground.
Riggs.
I emphasize the point that it's not under your body's control. You can't just go and do a knee guitar
Do
slide.
the big guys get a little bit of leeway since we have no control over our bodies really anyway? If
No.
you're 6'9", surely you can slide a bit further without getting called for a travel compared to a guard, surely.
Well, Regan's about
the extra
5'9",
weight, yeah.
so.
Got to give us uncoordinated bigs some flexibility on our sliding.
It sounds.
I slide like peanut butter on gravel, so it's not me.
It sounds that ruling, which obviously is bang on, Riggs, sounds as crazy as the backcourt ruling. I don't know why we changed it.
No.
Either of them.
No.
Because I don't understand.
No idea.
Both of the
You
new
say
versions.
the 8 seconds?
No, as in backcourt violation of physically having the ball in the backcourt. The new interpretations, there was nothing wrong with the old interpretation.
Here's Machando over to Bairstow. Good hesitation. Nice fake there by Jared. Lays it in.
Yeah, the Pirates are starting to exploit Toowoomba here. They're going for a bit of a soft show in the on-ball, and their rotations are a bit off.
Dirksen likes to match up with Leahy. Takes a jab step and backs in.
I like the
goes
off.
right
no,
through.
That's soft, man. That's not a foul, if you ask me. Give me 2 points and a flop warning. What do you think, Regan? You with me, bro?
I was busy replying to Facebook comments and YouTube comments. I didn't even see the play.
I like the move, Thunder, but I can see how they call it a charge.
No comment. I can see how you can see it.
It could have I think it could have gone either way, to be honest
I
with
think, as I said, I think Marty had pretty good defensive position, and he kind of got a bit barreled, so I can see why they blew it.
Well, the one thing that I've noticed is referees will let that initial one go, but the second one is Onwis finishes through the contact, plus the foul. He's starting to heat up a bit too, which is a good sign for
Well, that was
Southwest.
Ridgway's third, so
Yeah, it's bad news.
yeah.
But that's what I was getting to with the charge there on Leahy. Because you lower the shoulder a bit, they let that first one go.
Yeah.
It's
the
usually
second-
that
yeah.
second one that they get you with.
Yeah.
Coach Downer wants to take a timeout, guys. Let's keep it here. Southwest has gone on a nice little run to boost the lead to 9 points. You like what they're doing on the offensive end, though, Dave. You touched on it a little bit. That Toowoomba switch / show is hurting them a bit.
Yeah, they're just a bit sloppy in that execution, and I think the Pirates will start exploiting. I mean, the Mountain Men only 4 points in the quarter so far. Rough.
Yeah, and Pirates have done a pretty good job defensively.
They are definitely doing a good job defensively, but again, what is Toowoomba running? At the start of the game, you could tell exactly what they were trying to do. The last 5-6 minutes, I mean, my memory's not good, but I've seen Sid Hume post up more than I've seen Bozeman come off an on-ball this quarter. So what is Toowoomba running? So, for example, fellas, we're playing well, but we're down 9, there's 2 minutes left. What do you want to run coming out of this timeout? Like, for me, it's something, and they've got their own offenses, obviously, but something for Bozeman to come up and make the decision.
Yeah.
You can't just dump it to Dirksen and say, hey, go 1-on-1 on the post, get us something.
Well,
Sid Hume, go 1-on-1 on the post, get us something. That's not going to get you a win against
No.
a good team. So we'll see.
I think Bozeman has quieted it down a bit. I think Southwest has done a pretty good job staying in front of him and forcing him to the jump shot.
Oh, no doubt. That's because he's been forced to play 1-on-1 ball, and they're doing a good job guarding him 1-on-1.
Well, even 1-on-3.
Well, 1-on-3. So how about we run a play for you, Bozeman? You can come off a down pick and then a flare pick or whatever it is they want to run and help get him an easier look. Because at the moment, he's got to create everything for himself.
Yeah, I guess that's probably putting the ball in Ebner's hand a bit more and putting Bozeman into the true 2 spot and giving him a green light.
Well, he can bring it up, kick it to the wing, go down under the bucket, come off a couple of down picks, reverse it, and he gets a good look. Like, you just got to help him get some easier looks at the hoop.
Onwis can't finish the 3-point play, so the 9-point lead stays that way. Good hands there by Machando. Southwest trying to give Bozeman a bunch of different looks. It was Machando a possession ago. There's Bozeman catching and being fouled by Marty Leahy. Good backdoor cut there by Bozeman. And a nice lead pass there from Dirksen.
Yeah, great pass.
.150 to go in the first. 37-28 the lead for Southwest. Over to Toowoomba. Bozeman hits the first. Can't hit the second though. That's one area where Bozeman does struggle a little bit on the season. He's only a 63% free throw shooter coming into the game tonight. Onwis in the corner. Now Barstow has it. Good defense here from Toowoomba. There's 5 on the shot clock, but Thompson finishes with the left hand. Seen that a few times over the years, haven't we, Dave?
Yeah, good patience from the Pirates. Didn't have a lot on.
Blocked by Barstow. Machando kicks ahead for Onwis, goes right through the defender to lay it in. And the lead's up to 12 for Southwest.
Yeah, well, my math says it's a 25-4. 21-4. Second quarter, so Toowoomba really struggled to score. And another tough shot.
Well, they're not running any offense at all. It's hard to watch.
Onwis fouled by Hume.
And the Pirates fellas at the other end, I don't know if they've made an effort or if Coach Down has, in a timeout, requested it, but they're doing a much better job of getting into the paint. Whether they get in the paint to kick it out for a shot, or get in like Princeton's done a couple of times and don't get to the line. They're putting a lot of pressure on Toowoomba's defense, whereas at the other end, it's almost the opposite.
A lot of frustration out on the floor from Toowoomba. Josh Dirksen, the captain, having a chat with Coach Morso.
Well, I think Toowoomba couldn't even work out who was guarding the ball, was what Dirksen was saying.
Onwis hits them both. So it's now a 14-point lead for Southwest with about 30 seconds to go in the first half. Bozeman's jumper is short, gets his own rebound, loses it to Hume. It's tipped out, Ebner has it. There's about a 1.5 second differential between the game and shot clock. And Bozeman has it. Good double, good look inside. Toowoomba can't handle it. Tipped around. Stoddard throws up a deep one that's off. Little confusion there to end the half.
I think there's time on the clock. I think there was a violation on the shot clock before the game clock. So you might find a couple of seconds put back on here, I reckon.
Yeah, we saw the shot clock expired. Referees are coming over. He's going to ask to put a couple of seconds back on the game clock. Where will Southwest get possession of this, though, Regan?
At the point of the violation, so they may get 1.5, 2 seconds at most, but it's going to be from the free throw line down the other end of the court. So they're going to have to make quick movement to get the ball in and get a shot up.
Or you could, I don't know, you think of LeBron, Tyrell's coming in to catch a lob. But when you think about LeBron versus Minnesota, with Princeton posting up on the foul line, just who knows?
Or the classic NCAA tournament game, Duke versus
I know to make
Christian Leitner.
Yeah,
Grant Hill and Leitner.
Carolina?
Kentucky it was.
Oh,
It was,
Kentucky,
it was
really?
Duke, Kentucky, yeah. The famous Christian Leitner, the full
Yeah.
court pass, Leitner catch, turnaround, jump shot. That was about a similar, like about 1.2, maybe around that 2-second mark. If you're a Southwest, though, who do you want to get it to Harrison?
I think that's a long pass to catch.
I can see
On
him
the
throwing
rim.
the pass, maybe. Harrison inbounding it.
I'd get your best passer to take it out. So maybe Troy Thompson,
Bairstow.
Ryan Vines, Bairstow maybe. And I'd be trying to run something for Onless personally.
Let's see, they've put 0.7 of a second on the clock, so don't know if Southwest will be able to get a shot off here, but it looks like it's going to be Thompson inbounding it with Harrison and Onwis in the front court. They just go short.
Oh my God. That play didn't work.
That was a violation.
No, there should
No,
be
there
point.
should be no time off
There
on
should
the
be.
clock.
How can Toowoomba not be asking to check the clock?
There you go.
There you go.
The referee's asking. Why? How can Toowoomba not be asking for the time off?
You saw Ebner
Saved
was
by the
there
ref.
talking to the referee. So what happened there?
I personally thought that Jared, when he caught the ball, he was standing out of court. But the only other thing that is possible is the player passing the ball in stood on the line. I don't
think
know
they
which
tried
violation it was.
I think they tried. Well, let's watch this position, then we'll break it down.
There's the
Oh.
alley-oop. Hume can't
Oh.
finish, though. It was a good look. And then the clock
Good
runs
offense.
out.
I think Southwest tried the old trick play of someone out of bounds passing it to someone also out of bounds. From one side of the court to the other, then Besto was going to throw the long inbound pass.
So what was
But
that? Then
maybe he had a foot on
stepped
the line
in.
or
Yeah.
something.
All right, fair
That's what
enough.
But who knows?
Nonetheless, it was a pretty good first quarter for Toowoomba. That second quarter, though, they really struggled. Head into the break, down 14 to Southwest. Dave, give me your thoughts on that first half of action.
Well, again, it was the tale of two quarters. Toowoomba had it started well, moved the ball well, penetrated, got to the foul line, and defended well. And then the second quarter, they didn't do any of that.
Dan, what were your thoughts on that first half of action? What do you think Southwest did differently in that second quarter to really close down Toowoomba?
I think, not to discredit Southwest at all, but I think the main thing they did well is just be consistent. I think from the start of the game to the end of the first half, they just played good, consistent basketball. I think they did make a better effort to get into the paint and put pressure on the Toowoomba defense. Whereas in the first quarter, maybe they were relying a bit more on a jump shot. But I think it was more Toowoomba getting away from what worked for them as well. And I think Bozeman looked exhausted at the end of that half, and I think that's a credit to Southwest defense, giving him different looks, pressuring him. He had a play at the end of the half there where Mick Down is yelling out to go trap him, and he's going against two guys trying to beat a trap. That takes out a lot of energy, which over time breaks you down, and I think that's led to such a low-scoring quarter for Toowoomba because so much rides on Bozeman. If he can't deliver, they've shown that they're not really able to adjust so far.
Yeah, it was a good first half of action. We'll come back. We'll take a break. We'll come back with the second half of action. As at the main break, it's a 43-29 lead for Southwest over Toowoomba. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. It's halftime. We're just about to get set for the start of the second half. It's 43-29, Southwest over Toowoomba. They used the dominant second quarter to take that lead. Dave, I know you were looking at the stats over the halftime break. What's jumping out to you on the scoreboard?
Well, the thing that really hurt Toowoomba in that second quarter was the 2 of 14 field goals and 7 turnovers, which is going to contribute to the 27-5 second quarter. Again, it's like we've talked about, it's Bozeman and Ridgeway, and that's about it. Literally 12 points each. And Malik's played well too, 5 points, but I don't think he's got enough ball. And they just really need to try and get something for Bozeman. And equally, Dirkson's got to get a bit more involved offensively. Pirates are sharing the ball well. Onwas has returned with a force, 16 points. Bairstow's got 9. And then some other Pirates have chipped in. So, I think it's if I'm Coach Downer, I'm looking to really put my foot on the throat in this first 3 to 4 minutes and force the tempo and really try and crush the Toowoomba spirit and also play themselves in a little bit of form.
Dan, I know in the first half you were talking about how Toowoomba can get Bozeman a few more looks, but how can they get Josh Dirksen involved? You know, we saw him, they featured him a couple times in the block, but that's not necessarily where you think he should be getting his looks from.
I'm not sure that posting up is his strength. Certainly capable of it, but if he had a smaller matchup on him, like if a Jake Allen or Ryan Barnes got switched on to him, maybe post him up, but I'm not sure that's his natural game. But Josh has to get himself involved as well. I mean, I'm looking at the stat sheet now. He has 0 rebounds in 18 minutes. So go get yourself 2 or 3 offensive boards. He's a big, athletic, strong guy. Get yourself a couple of layups that way and get yourself going. But they do have to run offense with more purpose, definitely. So it's partly coaching, but it's a lot on the player too, is to get yourself moving.
Jake Allen with an acrobatic layup to start the second half for Southwest. Take a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Brisbane Capitals up on the Sunshine Coast Phoenix, 56-43. You also have Mackay up on Gladstone Port City Power, 40-24. And then Cairns over North Gold Coast, 34-23.
And better action early on that first set too. They ran a play to get Allen coming off as the second cutter, and he made a really good read, got on the rim.
Bairstow goes right at Ridgeway. Doesn't want to pick up his 4th. That's good recognition from Southwest as well.
Well, they try and use Harrison now as a good passer too in that 3-point line with that high-low action, and he's again improving his passing game, making some good reads out of that high post.
But they've got Harrison guarding Dirksen exclusively. Dirksen's trying to work in the post against a 7-footer. Gets the roll there, certainly capable, but I mean, that's where I'd like to see, like if Harrison's guarding someone, run into a pick and roll and let Bozeman put pressure on Harrison coming off an on-ball. Just give them something different they've got to try and defend. I think they're making it easy for Southwest to stay out of foul trouble at the moment.
A little miscommunication there from Vines to Onwas. Dirksen now works it around to Ridgeway. Jump shot by Ebner is too strong. Onwas comes on with it. Bairstow flips it up and in. He got winded there. He set the screen, took a shoulder right to the chest, but able to recover and finish. Eight on the shot clock for Toowoomba. Malik puts it on the deck. He shuffled his feet and travels.
That's 3 possessions in a row where Bozeman has stood on the wing. Jake Allen's in the lane, but not really denying him hard. Hasn't touched the ball in 3 trips. Not a good sign when you're coming off a 5-point quarter.
Jake Allen open for 3. It's good. And Jake Allen going to pick Bozeman up full court. Malik gets it over to Ridgeway, working on Bairstow. Hands back to Malik, who flips it in. And that's a better action there from Toowoomba. Vines can't finish the reverse. Dirksen tips it out to Ebneter. It's a 3-on-2. Excuse me, 3-on-1. Bozeman misses. Ridgeway doesn't. So quick 4 from Toowoomba. Onwards open in the corner. Brings it back out, now skips it to Vines. He'll fire a wing 3. That's good from the captain. Lead is 19 now for Southwest.
Yeah, not a lot of good signs early for Toowoomba.
Oh my God.
Tell us what you're thinking, Dan. Just use good language. We might have some youngsters listening.
Put me on mute for a minute, please.
I didn't see it. The ref was in my.
Dirksen set a screen and got called for the offensive foul.
I'm just concerned someone let a sniper into the roof up here in the pirate ship. My goodness.
Allen picked up the offensive foul on Dirksen. That was Dirksen's third personal. Onwis finds Harrison, who puts it down with 2 hands. Lead up to 21 now for Southwest. Malik on the block, working against Bairstow, finds Ridgeway, jump shot sweet.
Simple but effective. And again, Bozeman really not touching the ball.
And that's concerning, but he seems happy to not touch it. Like he's not going looking for it either, which coming off a 49-point week, I would have expected a different mindset.
Yeah.
Bairstow can't finish, but he's fouled. Princeton Onwis practicing his soccer skills a bit. How about that baseline jump shot, though, from Terrell Harrison? If he could show that he could hit that one consistently, that opens up a whole new game for him. Yeah, and
his form's good. Oh, was that Dirksen again?
Or looks like it, yep.
Yeah, so that's his 4th.
Bairstow hits the first. And the second is good as well from Bairstow. Let's see if Bozeman can get himself involved here. Wild shot there from Weber. Machando fouled before he leaves his feet, so that's going to stay on the floor. Nice little crossover from Machando to free himself.
Yeah, we had a blowout the other way last weekend, Johnny, and looks like the reversal this weekend.
Yeah, this is by far the best third quarter we've seen the Pirates play so far this season.
I think it's the only third quarter we've seen the Pirates play this season.
Good board there by Malik. Bozeman kicks ahead for Ridgeway, goes right at Onwis and lays it in. (60-39) the lead for Southwest now. 4:40 to go. Onwis going to fire a 3 that's short.
Well,
Bairstow offensive rebound.
They're really missing guys on the defensive end. Toowoomba just wide open 3 after 3. Not a good sign.
But again, you see Toowoomba just pretty happy for Southwest to continue shooting from outside.
Well, I don't blame him. I mean, that would be the scout. Shooting 17% for the season.
And
tonight hasn't been too much better. Give a quick look.
Ridgeway's shot goes out of bounds off of Harrison.
Well, 2 of 7 for the 7 for the night. But they got to keep shooting them. I mean, as I said, we've covered a couple games here. They've had good looks. It wasn't like they were bad threes this season. They just have struggled to find the net.
It's going to be hard to win a title unless you can knock down a 3-ball, though. And they've got guys that can shoot. So
yeah.
They're not bad shots, and I'm sure as the year goes on, that percentage will increase for sure.
Yeah.
They're doing a great job defensively, though, Southwest, really shutting down Toowoomba from doing anything that they want to do.
I agree with that, and Southwest 100% deserve credit, so don't take this comment as otherwise, but what are Toowoomba running? What purpose are they doing things with? It's Southwest are playing great D, but you can't allow yourself to be defended that easily either.
Well, I was going to say very similar, Thunder. Even Bozeman, he's just settling now. Like, you know, one out stuff, and the other guys are happy with it too.
I do like what Southwest has done, though, on Bozeman. They really have thrown out multiple defenders. You see Machando, give Machando a lot of credit. He's been really physical and good defensively for Southwest tonight. But we've seen Allen at times guarding Bozeman. We've seen Bairstow as Hume misses. And then I think they get Hume for the foul. Onwas getting the breather. Marty Leahy checking back in. But Southwest really doing a good job throwing multiple defenders at Bozeman. Seen Stoddard at times on them, Vines. And they got to do something. If I'm Toowoomba, even get Ridgway just going one-on-one because he's being guarded by Harrison or Thompson.
Yeah, but he hasn't really he's not demanding the ball either. They just sort of seem happy-go-lucky and...
Machando stripped by Bozeman. Kick ahead to Ridgway, lays it in with the right hand. Good finish by Ridgway. He wanted the foul, didn't get it.
Well, probably rightly so too, I thought.
Rightly wanted or rightly didn't get it?
No, he should have got it, I thought. I thought Bairstow hit him in the air and...
Good pass by Leahy. Thompson can't finish. Machando chases it down, though. Thompson skips it to Allen. He'll fire a wing three. That's good from Jake Allen.
Sweet looking Jimmy, looked good out of the hand.
He's been really good to start the third quarter, has Jake Allen.
And a good pressure from Bairstow and Machando up here. Forcing the issue, really making Bozeman work.
See Allen now on with a Bozeman assignment. He's a good defender, Jake Allen. He does a little bit of everything, doesn't he?
Yeah, and again, Bozeman's hanging out at the halfway.
He's not interested, is he? I would have loved to see the game last week where he went off for 49 to see how did Gladstone guard him.
Yeah.
Was it easy, or was he the kind of guy who, so Jake Allen gets up and puts pressure on him, is Bozeman going to accept it and just give it up, or is he going to turn around and actually say, okay, I'll accept that challenge. Jake's guarded me really well, but here's what I got.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll be interesting to see.
Let's put it into perspective, though, Dan. Gladstone so far in their 3 games are averaging, giving up 115 a game. So I don't know if that's, I highly doubt it's intentional. I understand they want to play fast pace, but they're not a good defensive team if you're giving up 115 every week.
But I agree, but to get 49, you still have to have a certain mindset. And this guy that we're looking at does not look like someone who put up 50 a week ago.
Well, it could simply be just the depth of the defense against him.
Absolutely.
In all honesty,
no,
I mean,
that's probably what it is.
You know, I don't think Gladstone would have 4, 5, 6 guys that they could run against him. You see now Stoddart's out there giving him another look defensively.
Well, you grind him down, and Mick Down has obviously watched film, and this was a strategy coming in to give different looks and just grind him down over the course of 40 minutes. But equally, like I've said a few times, what's Toowoomba doing to help get him an easy shot? Let's run a set and get him a look. I haven't seen that either, and that's the disappointment from my point of view.
Yeah, and they picked him up full court the whole game.
But if you're Bozeman, don't you have to? You're the point guard. Don't you call your own number anyway? Surely they have something that they can run for him. Stoddart gets an easy 2. He's trying to, you see, he's trying to get himself going, but he's got 3 defenders around him.
Yeah, but coming down, taking a shot with 21 seconds on the shot clock is not the answer. Like, what offense are you going to run with a purpose to get a good shot for him? Or a good post up for Ridgway, or a good look for anybody?
Leahy gets fouled on his way to the bucket. So Marty Leahy going to go to the free throw line with Toowoomba in the penalty. Southwest winning this quarter 20-12. Want to thank our sponsor, Australian Sports Network, providing live sports streaming and graphics to Live Sport Australia, Nothing But Net Media. James Bowman is a huge, huge supporter of what we do, and we can't thank James enough for all of his support and sponsorship activities. Leahy misses the first one. Take a look at some of the scores from out of town. Got to get a refresh on this one here. As Leahy hits the second one.
Toowoomba faithful Johnny Gouldson's in the crowd up there too, Johnny. One of your favourite guys.
What did he call me when we were out there last?
I don't know. It was
He called you about 5 different names.
It was damn funny though. But he's
listen, without John Gouldson, Toowoomba probably doesn't have a QBL program in 2018. He's a huge, huge supporter of Toowoomba basketball, and he's a great guy. So good to see John up here. And he does a great job on the call for Toowoomba. I see them live streaming the games all their home games. So good job doing that, and a great initiative out at Toowoomba.
And I'm really happy that, I'm sure there was others involved, I'm really happy that him and his group stepped up, and I'm glad that they're in the league. I think it's good for the QBL to have a good Toowoomba team in the league. So
Pang misses, Harrison follows. He's fouled hard by Malik. So Harrison going to go to the free throw line for a couple shots. Harrison misses the first.
We got a bit of the QBL curse coming here, Johnny, haven't we, again? Another blowout.
It's been that way the last couple weeks, that's for sure. It's a 26-point deficit for Toowoomba. They should be able to hold for the final shot of the quarter. There's the double team. Ridgway has it on Pang. Flips it up, misses, gets his own rebound. Putback is good. Let's see if they can get a good look here. Stoddard has it with 3 on the shot clock. Gonna have to fire. He's fading away. It's off. And heading into the fourth quarter, it's a 24-point lead for Southwest, 67-43. We'll take a break. We'll come back with that final quarter of action here on QBL Basketball, presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you here at Hibiscus Sports Complex. 67-43 the lead for the Pirates over Toowoomba. Heading into the fourth quarter, Southwest played a pretty good third quarter. They outscored Toowoomba by 10 in the third to really pull away. Guys, I got to ask the question, can Toowoomba make a comeback here down 24?
No.
No,
You just don't see it happening.
definitely not.
Well, not when you put back-to-back 5-point and 14-point quarters.
They've exploded for 19 points in the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough.
Yeah. Pirates have done a good job of, again, frustrating Bozeman. Come back to earth a little bit, 3 of 13 so far.
Dirksen forces it up. It's no good. Good tip there by Malik.
Dirksen has become a strictly post-up, back-down offensive player, which surprises me.
Harrison can't finish through the contact. Malik rips it down.
Well, he probably was lucky not to get fouled out of the game just then. On the Harrison.
Who's that?
Dirksen on the Harrison take.
Unfortunately, and I think he's a great guy, Josh. I'm a fan, but I'm not sure he would have been that upset if they had called it. He looks a little bit frustrated at the moment.
Good follow there from Malik. Toowoomba throwing a couple of little bit of a trap out there. Good duck under from Harrison. Can't get the friendly roll though. Ebner loses it out of bounds. Pounding the rock a little too much there.
I think Coach Morsu is a bit unhappy with some of the lack of calls.
I understand his frustration, but I think this has been a really well officiated game, including that possession. I don't think there was any foul there.
No, not at all.
4 on the shot clock for Thompson. He has it stripped by Quaiquam. He's going to go right to the rim. Layup is good. That's
Great
a nice
job.
finish.
Yeah. Good defensive energy and finished with the fast break bucket.
That's his first bucket of the game, too.
Wow.
Long pass there from Stoddard. That's just a rookie mistake there. That one was just not the right decision. Onwas checking in now for Stoddard. We haven't seen one of that a nice Onwas gem really this season, have we? I don't think we've seen him put down one of his traditional hammers.
No, and we've covered a lot of his games too, Johnny, and I don't think we have, yeah.
You remember we had one of the games that we did for the Capitals last year, and we had Joey Wright watching the game, and we asked them the question, you know, is Onwas an NBL player? And I remember the response being, he's not far off. Where do you see it? Where do you see him as a potential NBL import? And do you think maybe one of the reasons why he's here with the Pirates is maybe the Bullets looking at him as a potential third import?
I don't think that's why he would be with the Pirates. I think that's why he would have chosen to come to the Pirates. Maybe getting exposure to a next level coach like Coach Danner over here. And obviously something different to what the Terrence system shows. Maybe he's got a different skill set he thinks he can put on the floor. But I think if the Bullets were looking at him, it wouldn't matter if he was playing in Southwest, Tasmania, or Argentina, they would find him. So I don't think that would be the reason for them. But if he's, I would say maybe.
Nice catch there from Harrison.
Throw it down. If he was on a budget and a team wanted a third import, maybe on the lower end of the pay scale, maybe he would be a fit. But there's so many good imports in NBL. I would be surprised if he got picked up at that level.
And just not many spots, right? I mean, only 8 teams makes it hard too.
Yeah. I mean, he could play like Stephen Holt last year at the Bullets. Princeton almost could have done that. So
yeah.
He's not far off.
Yeah.
Bairstow hands it off for Harrison. Finishes with the reverse.
This is going to get ugly, fellas. I have a bad feeling.
It's 22 points the lead for Southwest at the moment. 6:30 to go.
It's the same ugly that it was last week, Johnny, just the reverse.
It kind of bothers me when the referees say blue. It's not blue. It's clearly purple. Can we just put that on record?
This is one of my biggest pains when I was a referee, because everyone would always say it. It's not blue. It's purple, and it's not gold. It's yellow.
Yeah.
The stupid reason behind it is it has to be single syllable.
Really?
That's
Oh,
it.
is that
That's the only reason. Yeah.
Can't you say perp?
Perp?
I did not know that.
Nah.
Not a lot of people do.
Single-syllable
It gets asked all the time. It's such a silly little
Why
thing.
is that
though.
the rule? Because it takes too long to bring out multiple syllables when you're calling a game.
It's too confusing for the referees.
Yeah.
We're not the most learned bunch.
Amen. Someone finally said it.
I'm allowed to say because I'm retired.
Derrickson, a lot of contact again.
Wow.
Flips it up and
Tough
in.
finish.
Oh, come on. You know.
And then they're going to tee him up for his 5th. Derrickson dropping, throwing up the finger, dropping some colorful language. He's not going to let this one go easy.
It's just, you feel his pain. He's finally made a good, tough move. Got bumped a couple of times. Got a bucket.
There was a lot of contact on the play. I mean, he has a good case to complain about that one in particular, but I think it's just the build-up across the whole night, really.
It's funny how a 20-point deficit brings out the frustrations in you.
So Derrickson's done for the night. And then Toowoomba going to take a timeout, so we'll take one as well. 5:50 to go in the game. It's a 19-point lead for Southwest, 72-53 over Toowoomba. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. Just before the timeout, we saw Josh Derrickson pick up a technical for his 5th foul, so he's out for the game. Pretty disappointing effort. I know Derrickson would have been disappointed with that. He was obviously frustrated from an early on, but he'll finish up with a pretty poor stat line there. 4 points on 2 of 8 shooting, 0 of 3 from 3, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 turnovers and 2 steals for Josh Derrickson. Onwis goes to the rim, can't get it to fall, but he's fouled.
Well, he was licking his chops when he saw Ebner guarding him as he should. And I guess that's the thing too, you know, we've talked about his evolution, and I think, you know, I think he's averaging 16 for the season, but if he really wanted to get in that next level, it's that elite defense, the passing, and probably, you know, the 20 to 22 a game in this league would get him a little bit more attention as well. But I agree, he's not far off.
I always look back at, for me, from a QBL perspective, the measuring stick is Jeremy Kendall recently. Kendall came in and was dominant for Toowoomba when he started. Then he was dominant when he played with Southwest as well. And I think you need to be at that kind of level, averaging 30 plus again, or around that 25, 30 mark,
Yeah.
and being able to carry your team to a win.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of things that you look for if you're going to pull in somebody out of a QBL to play in the NBL in an import spot.
It's a shame that the numbers on the points per game is a big factor, but that's the reality, I think. But more to the point, Johnny, you mentioned winning. I mean, Toowoomba haven't won in a while, with the exception of the year Kendall's up there, where they're on Maxine. You go up to Toowoomba now, there's a picture on the stadium of a packed house for a home final. Unless you can deliver something like that, then you're probably not up to the scratch of taking that next step. So if Princeton almost can average, 18, 19 a game, and they finish top 2, and they do really well into the postseason, great defender, then he's a chance of getting a look. If he averages 18 or 19 and they come 6th, he's not getting a look at all. So team success plays a massive role as well.
We're gonna have the Toowoomba team again next Friday night for our QBL game of the week. They're gonna be traveling over the range to visit Ipswich. So it's gonna be Ipswich and Toowoomba on Friday night for the women and men's doubleheader. Ipswich coming off their first win. They really smoked Brisbane last week, and were you guys surprised by that result on the men's side of things?
I'm not surprised. With Dusty Reichart out, I think there's going to be a few tough nights for Brisbane. I feel he was the heartbeat, keeping them together, and there's going to be a period of adjustment.
Yeah, and equally, I think I forget the stats, but I was talking to the boys during the week, and Ipswich apparently shot the lights out, which helps.
Oh, I mean, that's that style of play. Brisbane will almost encourage you to shoot a lot because they want to get the ball and go as well. It's the short weekend, so it's only the games on the Friday night next week. You've got Cairns and Townsville, Rocky and Gladstone, and then Ipswich and Toowoomba. So 3 games on for you next Friday night. I know Rockhampton and Cairns have been streaming their games, so that hopefully all 3 of the games will be streamed, but you can certainly catch our QBL game of the week, which will be Ipswich versus Toowoomba on the Friday night on the Basketball Queensland YouTube channel. As Bairstow comes up with the steal.
Yeah, Rocky had a good win against Mackay last night.
Ball goes out of bounds off of Toowoomba. And I watched a bit of that Townsville-North Gold Coast game as well. And North Gold Coast really gave them a run for it for about 2.5 quarters. But then that Townsville talent just kind of put the foot down, and they wound up winning it in a blowout.
Just too big, it looked like. I saw Justin Baker and Harry Froling's stat line, and it looked like they just murdered them inside. A bit thin up front, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's a squad. The Townsville boys have put a squad together.
It's pretty much it could be an NBL program. It really could be. At that, their starting 5, I think, is certainly could compete at an NBL level. We've got guys like Crawford who have played in the NBL. Froling just signed with Adelaide. Jordair Jet, former Townsville Croc. 3 of the 5. He either have or will have some NBL talent. So they're going to be pretty tough to beat. Any other teams standing out for you so far in the men's competition so far this season?
Well, I think obviously the Mackays and Rockies are going to be the yardstick, but Rocky getting the win last night was a good win. I think Nelson Larkins had led Mackay with 25. It was a close game. I think they went down by 5. But again, Mackay's had some good wins up there, so they'll be around the mark.
Yeah, Rockhampton. The thing that concerns me is their depth.
Yeah.
They have a great starting 5, but the bench they don't run very deep. They only played 7 guys last night.
Yeah.
And the bench guys, I think, had 10 minutes apiece. So you're going to ride your 5. If you want to make noise in the finals, I think you need to develop the bench. You touched on Nelson Larkins, though, and the one thing I've been really impressed with his start so far, we always knew he was going to bring it defensively, but he's been shooting the piss out of the ball. I mean, I don't remember Nelson being such a great shooter, but I think he was like 5 of 11 from 3 last night.
Yeah, maybe even more. And equally, it's funny you say that because I looked at the assist column as well. I think he only had 1 assist. So it's, I've known the family a while and obviously I'm interested in his development. But absolutely, shot a really good clip.
The assist may get robbed a little bit, though.
Yeah.
Especially when you're on the road in the QBL. Unless it's obvious, sometimes they don't give it to you. So I'm sure he also does a good job distributing the ball as well.
Yeah, and you're going to get the defensive intensity out of him as well. So that'll be good. Looking forward to when Mackay come down and we get a couple of those games.
I think the northern teams are the measuring stick again this year. Townsville, Mackay, Cairns are going to be very good with Coach O'Loughlin up there, who's obviously a very good coach. But I also think that on paper, this Southwest team, Gold Coast have a great list. So there's a lot of teams that are going to be there at the end of the year, depending obviously on how things go. But
yeah, and even the other teams maybe we don't give a bit of love to is the Phoenix and the Rip. You know, they're going to be around the mark as well.
Well, I love the Rip. The Phoenix have a squad too, so we'll see if Braden can get it together up there. But
I think Fullerton's officially done now, so he's out, as in retired. Finished.
No more basketball. Yeah.
No more basketball. So he
amazing.
Signed a contract with the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah.
He's given up the basketball and going over to the footy. I didn't even know he was a footy player. So, congrats to him. I mean, we'll miss him because I was really looking forward to seeing Fullerton play. I thought,
absolutely.
It's a good move.
I would have loved to have seen him come and play QBL. You know, see what his development was like. But obviously,
is there any chance we can get Matty Kenyon on the footy field? Where is he?
He's rehabbing. He tore his knee, so he's still
is he under
still
contract
rehabbing.
with the Bullets, or is he off?
No, he's off contract. My understanding is he's got he's chatting to a few clubs. I think a few clubs are monitoring his rehab, and hopefully he'll get another opportunity in the NBL. Because I know he signed the contract with Princeton. Kept it cool, calm, and collected for us there. I know you were getting excited.
I'm going to give it a thumbs down.
That's a 2 thumbs down. We want rim, grab in, legs up.
Give me a windmill or something at least.
I'm going to have a word to Princeton.
I think you should, Dave. I think you should. Toowoomba faithful not happy with the referees. Pretty good crowd from Toowoomba actually here. Pretty decent amount of Toowoomba fans traveling
down the hill, full of optimism.
Yeah.
After last week, but will be a more quiet drive home. Although the lead has become a bit more respectable.
Well, they got in
the last few minutes here.
A bit of a better drive next week. Only going to the switch.
Yeah, not too bad. Should be a couple of pretty good games next weekend. So where do you see Southwest in the scheme of things? Do you guys see this as a top 8 team playing some finals basketball?
I think they're a top 8 team, and I haven't seen signs that they're a top 4 team yet. But it's early on the season. I mean, it's now a 12-point game when really, you know, they should have won by 35 based on where they were 8 minutes ago. So that's got to be disappointing.
Oh.
I mean, they're losing the fourth. They're losing the fourth by plus.
And the game is not over, fellas.
8.
By the way.
Well, while we were talking about other teams, Toowoomba has mounted a tremendous comeback. They're only down by 10.
Come on, dude.
With 2:24.
What are you doing?
And there's a technical call.
This is unbelievable, man.
On Ridgeway.
It's
not really sure what the technical was for either.
He was pumped. He was running back down, talking to the crowd. Maybe might have something to the ref, I don't know, but he was just pumped, man. He's brought his team back to 10. He danced down the sideline. There's a good group of Toowoomba supporters over opposite their bench he was saying something to. Maybe the ref thought he was talking to him, I don't know. But this is also the same official that teched up Josh Dirksen from the other side of the court as well. That disappoints me.
Well, they're having a chat. Maybe they're going to rescind this possibly. I don't know. No way, Regan?
Well, that would be an admission of a mistake, which is unlikely to happen.
I think Coach Morsu, he's being rather calm, or he doesn't know the tech
he
was given.
Know. No, he doesn't know. No idea.
Well, assistant coach Dirksen here.
I think Jason's saying, get off the court. You can't be here.
For multiple reasons, he's the assistant coach as well.
Right, so the technical is going to stay on Ridgeway. That hurts a bit because that gives you possession as well.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to comment without knowing exactly what was said or exactly what was done. The issue that I have with it, unless he was dropping C-bombs or really horrible things, this game has now completely turned around. Toowoomba was on a massive roll. You know, they've come from being 14 points down to 10 points down. They were on a hot streak, and they had every opportunity of getting back in this game. This completely breaks their momentum.
Yeah, they had possession. Now Southwest misses the free throw, but they regain possession. Let's see if Toowoomba can get a stop here. And they're going to call Onwis for the offensive foul.
Well, you've given up. It's a 27-13 fourth quarter. The Pirates have allowed 27 points.
And we almost disregarded Toowoomba here, so we've done them a disservice.
We should keep talking about other teams.
things, yeah.
Not jinx their run.
It helped them out.
Toowoomba going to take a timeout. We'll take one as well. 2:20 to go in the game. It's a 10-point deficit for Toowoomba. Your QBL Game of the Week presented to you by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia. Back with you at Hibiscus Sports Complex. What looked like it was going to be a blowout is now a 10-point lead for Southwest. They were up at points, up by 24 points. It's now only a 10-point lead for Southwest with 2:20 to go in the game.
Well, Ridgway's been terrific for them. 24 and 10. He's got 6 offensive rebounds.
He's been exceptional.
And there's another one.
Kept one alive. There's a foul. I'm not sure who got hit or who they're calling that one on. Giving that one to Ebner, it looks like. They're in the penalty, so it's going to be free throws for Machando here. That was an unfortunate one because it was a good look by Ebner. Would have cut the deficit to single digits.
Yeah, and again, we probably haven't. We've given him a little bit of love, but the Pirates have done a really good job on Bozeman, playing 32 minutes, only 4 field goals.
He's only taken one shot in the last
in this
quarter
quarter.
and a half.
Yeah,
though.
yeah.
He was 3 of 13.
Yeah.
10 minutes ago.
Gets the rebound there, though, as Machando goes 1 of 2. Looking to get to the rim. Kicks it out for
Good
Ridgway.
Oh.
And there's
I just don't even. I don't even know why they can't even get to a middle on ball at the very worst case.
Yeah,
off a swing and a reversal, and let Bozeman just do his thing.
Yeah.
And then you got Ridgway cleaning up the glass for you.
Ridgway Bozeman middle on ball is a good idea.
Allen got called for the foul. It's the 15th foul, so Southwest also in the penalty. Bozeman will go to the line for 2 shots.
I reckon Cam Trigar would support that. I mean, they ran that so well with Sean Bruce last year. It's such a hard play to guard, just when it's like a north-south pick, you know?
Yeah.
Back, big guy sets his back to the hoop and just let Bozeman, or in that case, Sean Bruce, get ahead of steam coming downhill at the defense.
Yeah.
Good luck stopping that.
And I guess the other one too, on that game last night, Blanchfield and Cedar were both at a shocker as far as the field goals. So, you know, I guess Mackay's not going to have too many bad nights from them throughout the season.
Harrison, offensive rebound. He's fouled from behind by Bozeman. It's Bozeman's 4th personal. They're going to put Harrison on the free throw line for 2 shots.
Well, this is more encouraging for next weekend's game, Johnny.
Oh, they need to bring this energy. They started out okay, Toowoomba. Had a pretty good first quarter. We're flat for, let's call it, 2.5 quarters, and then they've turned it on really in the last 6-7 minutes.
Yeah.
Might just be too little too late, though, as we're under 2 to go in the lead for Southwest back to 10. Make it 11 as Harrison hits both free throws. He's been pretty good tonight also, so back-to-back good performances for Harrison.
Yeah, 15 and 7, couple blocks.
Bozeman hits a 3. Lead is back to 8 now for Southwest.
Yeah, good
and
call.
then they get Jake Allen for the offensive foul.
I thought it was a good call. He moved his feet well.
Bozeman picks up the charge on Jake Allen. That's Allen's third personal.
I'd love a 3-ball.
3-ball makes it really interesting. It's 8 points.
And then it makes it really interesting.
Coach Morsu is going to take a timeout, though, so we'll take one as well. Minute 40 to go in the game. Toowoomba trailing Southwest by 8.
Surely that's his last time out. It feels like he's had about 7 in the last.
It is. Scoreboard shows Southwest with 2 remaining.
Yeah.
Toowoomba are out. So that's I mean, they're down 8. They need a bucket, but it's always a concern when you burn your last time out and what could be a really close finish.
Yeah.
If you are Coach Morsu, and we'll keep it here, who are you looking to get that shot? It's got to be Bozeman or Ridgeway.
I reckon what Dave just said, a Bozeman Ridgeway 2-man game, and let Bozeman come off and create for his own shot, or Ridgeway roll in. That's what I'd be looking for. Yeah,
Malik's been a bit quiet too. I mean, he needs to get on the glass and just be another threat. I mean, he's going to finish with 9 points and 9 rebounds, which sort of looks like an okay night at the office, but I feel like he hasn't had a massive impact tonight. And
he's been active defensively. I think he's done a really good job contesting shots. But I mean, if Bozeman and Ridgeway do what they're meant to do, and he can give you, 10 and 10 like he's about to,
and I really like it.
Dirksen can step up and give you 12 to 15.
Yeah,
that's a good team.
Yeah. And I really like Malik. I think he's a great, great role player.
Well, he hasn't been in a position to really put more points on the board.
Well, yeah, and I think that's just part of, Toowoomba's got to look at how they're going to get some buckets out of people.
Well, they've also gone small on this run. You see, they've really run in 4 guards and Ridgeway.
And that might be how they've got to play more.
Here's Bozeman.
The timeout was obviously a shot for Bozeman, but very contested, well guarded by the Pirates.
Yeah, quite Quan. He's a bit of love for him. He's done a good job since he's come in too.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid, but it's still an 8-point deficit for Toowoomba. Harrison deep seal finishes with the right hand. So he had Bozeman on him. That's good recognition by the Pirates. Quiet Quam's going to fire a 3 that's short. Ridgeway, another offensive rebound. Put back, no good. Bozeman misses his putback attempt, and here comes Onwis. 10-point lead for Southwest. We're under a minute to go now. And then Allen's fouled by Weber.
I think the question on everyone's lips is, will Coach Morso escape the game without a tee? Because he's been floating for the last half.
Oh, yeah, he's been close. He's quite frustrated. I think the referees are seeing that it's under a minute to go.
I think in any normal circumstance, he would easily get one for his behavior in the last couple of minutes, but we've already had 2 on the players. I don't think there's any need to end the game on that kind of note.
Now it's completely over, plus up 11.
Well, Bozeman just fouled out as well, picking up that foul. Southwest did a great job on Bozeman tonight, really frustrating him. He'll finish the night pretty quiet when you look at the stat line. 5 of 17 from the field. He's got 19 points, but he really had, Southwest made him work for every single bucket he got tonight.
10 boards as well for their point guard, and he's a really solid player. So just didn't have enough help in
I agree.
Tonight.
I'm looking forward to watching him play. I know 2 games in 2 weeks for Toowoomba on our broadcast, but I'm looking forward to watching him play to see how he bounces back from a quieter game. I think he'll come out absolutely balling next Friday night in Ipswich.
And him and Ralphie should be a pretty good matchup. Zahn was fouled by Hume there. Bozeman reminds me a little bit of the Gold Coast Rollers point guard, Dion Mitchell. Very similar build, kind of short and stocky. Surprisingly quick and strong, though, and can do a bit of everything.
Yeah, he is. He's been really good, despite obviously not shooting a great clip. Again, really strong, too. He held his ground in the post a few times when he had the Bairstows and Harrisons on him. And
what did you like from Southwest tonight, Dave?
Well, again, in patches, they looked really sharp offensively, ran some nice stuff. You know, again, I'd like to see the tempo move a little bit faster. You know, a few more shots, get out in transition a little bit more. But they ended up finishing the game 3 of 10 from the three, which is a smidge better than where they've been traveling. But again, 25 assists. They shared the ball well, which is a good sign. Not a great fourth quarter, but again, early on the season, they've got to keep working hard on that.
That's a shot clock violation. Coach, referee's going to let it go. Ridgway looks like he's going to dribble the clock out. He'll put up a shot.
Ridgway does not care about his shooting percentage. That's what we just learned.
But the final score here and a good win for Southwest, 90-75. Dan, want to get your quick thoughts. Southwest got a little hairy there at the end for them, but pretty good performance overall.
Well, it did get much closer than it should have, but coming off a tough loss last weekend, I reckon they'd be pretty pleased with how they played. And despite a couple of lapses in the fourth quarter defensively, they were pretty impressive offensively and defensively for most of tonight. So lots of positives for them. And
you mentioned Toowoomba versus Ipswich. It will be our stream next week. Dave, your thoughts on Toowoomba tonight and what we can maybe look forward to for Ipswich next week?
Yeah, well, they just got to watch the tape and you know, kind of create some more offense for their guys, make it a little bit easier for the Bozeman's and the Dirksons of the world. Malik's going to do his thing, so that's easy, and I think Ridgway's going to do his thing too. So it's actually nice when you don't have to run plays for the Ridgways and Maliks of the world. They'll go get there 30 and 15, or you know what I mean?
9 offensive boards for Ridgway, so
yeah,
like let Bozeman get in the lane and get shots on the rim. Ridgway's going to clean it up. So.
Yeah.
And that could be an area of concern for Ipswich next week. If they're not very strong on the glass. They're
not great on the glass either. Yeah,
a bit weak inside, so it could be an interesting matchup.
Well, Josh Dirksen, if you watch the tape, bro, go get yourself 5-0 boards next week. Why can't you?
Yeah.
And that's a way for him to get himself going as well. And if they can do that, and the Bozeman does what he does, Toowoomba's going to upset some people this year.
And even some more pick and pop with Josh, right?
For sure.
You know, that's where I think he's been good in the past as well.
Yeah.
For sure, but nonetheless, it's a big win here for the Southwest Metro Pirates, 90-75. We're going to wrap things up. I got to thank Chris Sieber on the camera. Got to thank Regan Baker with his commentary for the women's game, the production and commentary here for the men's game, for my co-commentators Dan George and Dave Derwin, and also for James Bowman down at the Australian Sports Network for providing us with our amazing graphics and all of the technical support he provides us. I'm John Guarna. Thanks everyone for tuning in to another presentation of QBL basketball here by Nothing But Net Media and Live Sport Australia.